If you're confused by all of the feminine hygiene advice out there, this video is going to change that. Today, I am sharing 17 feminine hygiene tips and a few bonus ones that answer your exact questions, and these will seriously improve the quality of your life. We have not covered this in any other video we've made on feminine hygiene before, so make sure you watch till the end because these are practical, they're science-backed, and they're genuinely useful. And I wish I had learned these in my 20s. 1. Don't use period products just because they're trending. There is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to choosing the right period product. Every few months, you will see a new revolutionary period product hit the market, right? Whether it is menstrual cups, whether it's period panties, organic tampons, reusable pads, and suddenly you feel like you are missing out if you don't make the switch. But here is the truth, your period care is not a fashion trend. It's about your comfort, your health, and what works for your body. For example, menstrual cups are amazing for some women, but for others, they can cause leakage, discomfort, or maybe just don't feel right. Reusable pads sound great, but they may not always give you the protection you need. Period panties can be convenient, but they might not be hygienic if you cannot change and wash them properly. The problem occurs when we blindly follow trends without understanding them first. Not everybody is the same. What works beautifully for one woman may be a nightmare for another, and your lifestyle matters. A college student who has to sit through long classes may need very different solutions from somebody who is working from home, like me. And of course, hygiene comes first. If you are not able to clean, change, or maintain your reusable period products properly, it can do more harm than good. So before you jump on a trending product, just ask yourself these 3 questions. 1, does it fit my lifestyle and daily routine? 2, do I understand how to use it and clean it properly if it is a reusable period product? And 3, am I choosing it because it works for me or just because Instagram said it was cool? At the end of the day, the best period product is the one that keeps you comfortable, safe, and confident, whether that's a pad, whether that's a tampon, cup, period panty, whatever it is. Tip number 2, learn how to properly clean your reusable period products. Now, a lot of us have switched to reusable ones, including me. I use menstrual cups, and these can be amazing because they save money, they reduce waste, they're comfortable for a lot of women. But the catch is, if you do not clean them properly, they can become a breeding ground for bacteria, for infections, for fungi, and that is not something that you want. So how do you keep them hygienic and safe? I'm going to share everything one by one for all of the different kind of products. For menstrual cups, make sure you wash your hands first, always before and after, like using the cup or touching the cup. Rinse the cup with cold water first. This basically prevents stains from setting, and if you use like transparent silicone cups, you will see over time that they tend to develop like a brownish reddish hue because they get stained. But if you rinse them first with cold water, this usually doesn't happen. I've been using mine for about 5 years. No staining has happened so far. It is working perfectly fine. Once you rinse it, then you wash it with mild fragrance-free soap. Soap is extremely effective. You don't need any other cleansing product. Just soap works really well, and use warm water. It will cleanse out your cup inside out. Don't use harsh chemicals or scented washes or even hand sanitizer. That's a big no-no because you can't put hand sanitizer inside of you, and if you use that to clean your cup, traces of it can still linger on and go inside of you. That's not something you want. And then final step, you either want to boil your cup before and after each cycle, or you can use a sterilizer like this one where you just put the cup in this, you sterilize it after you've used it for the length of your cycle, and then before you use it again. Now, if you don't use menstrual cups but you prefer like reusable pads or cloth pads instead, it is very, very important to wash them correctly. First of all, after you're done using them, soak them in cold water immediately. You don't want to use hot water here because hot water will set the stains because it'll cook the blood. That's not what you want. Then you hand wash those pads with mild detergent. Avoid bleach, avoid fabric softeners, avoid very fragrant, rich detergents because they can irritate the skin. And then once you've washed them properly a couple of times, dip them in the water, wash them again, dip them in the water, wash them again, till all of the detergent is out of that pad along with all of the blood. Obviously, you can then give them like a gentle spin in your machine to like spin dry them, and then you can dry them, hang them out to dry directly in the sun because the sun's UV rays naturally disinfect and prevent odor. That is the most cost-effective way of washing and cleaning your reusable pads. Now for period panties, again, you want to start by rinsing them in cold water right after you use them. Do not let it sit for longer. So as soon as you're switching out your period panty, make sure you wash it. Once you've rinsed it out, once you've rinsed out all the blood, you can actually machine wash it with a gentle detergent like you did with your pads. Don't use fabric softener softeners because they can also reduce absorbency, and of course they can cause irritation. And once you washed your period panties and you've like spun dried them in the machine, make sure to air dry them or to dry them out in the sun. Avoid dryers and avoid like ironing your period panties because heat can break down absorbent layers. Now here's the golden rule for all of your reusable period products. You need to treat them like medical devices, not just clothing, right? So clean them thoroughly, dry them completely, and store them properly. That is how you stay safe. Coming to tip number 3, do this to prevent yeast infections. Yeast infections are so damn common. In fact, this was a very common question on the last feminine hygiene video. 3 out of 4 women will experience a yeast infection at some point in their lives. The good news is that a lot of them can actually be prevented with just a few simple habits. So here is what you need to do if you want to prevent yeast infections from happening in the first place. Number 1, keep your vaginal area dry because yeast thrives in warm, damp places. So after a shower, make sure you dry it completely and instead of staying in a damp underwear. Next, you want to wear breathable fabrics, of course. So for daily wear, choose cotton underwear over synthetic fabrics, of course. And whenever you can, wear looser fitted bottoms. So tight jeans, nylon panties, staying in gym clothes for very, very long can trap moisture and create like the perfect breeding environment for yeast. I'm not saying to avoid these things completely, but make sure you wear them for shorter durations and you change right out of them after you've been through like a sweat session. 3, make sure whatever you're wearing down there, you change it often, whether it's pads, tampons, period panties, even regular underwear, change it regularly. Even the most high absorbency products are not meant to stay on for half a day. On top of that, make sure you change your panties that you use every 6 months or so that they don't become breeding ground for bacteria. Skip scented products because they disrupt the natural balance and make infections more likely. And finally, balance your diet. Too much sugar, too much processed food, all of this feeds yeast and it can cause more of an infection. So make sure you get your probiotic rich food, your supplements, and drink enough water to maintain healthy vaginal flora. Basically, dryness, breathability, and gut balance, these are the 3 words that can cut your chances of a yeast infection massively. Coming to tip number 4, stop using vaginal lightening products. Why I'm saying this is because I was recently approached by a brand that sells vaginal lightening creams, and I of course refused the collab because these products are not really built for women. They're built on the insecurity of women, so they don't empower you in any way. And the truth is that the skin in your vaginal area is usually darker because of hormones, because of friction, higher melanin levels. It is the same reason why your elbows, your underarms, your inner thighs might look darker. It is completely natural. You do not need to lighten it. But a lot of beauty companies know that women are judged harshly, so they turn normal biology into a problem and sell you bleaching creams as the fix. And on top of that, it's not just about selling an insecurity, right? These products often contain harsh chemicals that can cause irritation, damage your sensitive skin, and even raise the risk of infection. So remember, your vaginal skin tone is not dirty, it is not unclean, it is not something to be corrected. It is just what it is. If you really care for yourself, if you really care for your health, you will maintain hygiene, you will wear breathable clothes, and you will practice good, healthy habits, not bleaching away what is natural. Coming to tip number 5, stop self-treating UTIs. I cannot believe how many women do this. Women in my own house have done this. They will go ahead and just try and drink more water, eat like cranberry capsules or drink cranberry juice and do some Ayurvedic nuska. No, UTIs are not something that you can diagnose and treat at home. So the moment that you start feeling burning while peeing or you feel a little discomfort in that area, do not jump to home remedies. You have to understand something very, very fundamental. UTIs are bacterial infections. And like most bacterial infections, they usually need the right medication to clear fully. If you ignore it or if you half treat it, the infection can spread to your kidneys and become a much bigger health problem. That is not what you want. And while yes, cranberry juice and hydration help with prevention or easing of discomfort, once you already have a UTI, there is no cure. You have to go to a doctor. Only a doctor can prescribe the right course of treatment. They might not give you the harshest or the strongest antibiotics. They might give you a milder one, but you still need to go to a doctor. So if you notice burning, pain, cloudy urine, constant urge to pee, do not self-diagnose. Do not self-medicate, go see a doctor. Your health is not a gamble and UTIs are one area where early medical care can make all of the difference, okay? This brings me to tip number 6, which will help you prevent a lot of like UTIs and yeast infections, and that is to have a travel-friendly feminine hygiene kit on you at all times. Every woman should have this for days when your period comes early, or you're stuck at work all day, or you just want to feel fresh, okay? This is your intimate hygiene survival kit, and here is what I would suggest you keep inside it. 1, spare pads, tampons, or panty liners, because you never know when you or a friend might need one. 2nd is intimate wipes, unscented, pH balanced. I will link the ones that I use below. These are perfect for refreshing when you're out, when you can't shower, even after you've used a public toilet and you don't want to use the toilet paper that's been sitting out in that loo. You can just grab your intimate wipes, wipe down there, throw it away, and it's perfectly safe. It also keeps you clean and dry down there. You also want to keep an extra pair of cotton underwear. It is life-saving if you just, suddenly got your period, if you have leaks, if your underwear is damp for some reason and you just feel uncomfortable, it is a lifesaver. And finally, of course, hand sanitizer, because you need to clean your hands before doing anything or touching your vaginal area with dirty hands, right? That's not what you want. And one more addition I would make to this is just carry like a small pouch or a Ziploc for carrying used products in case there is no dustbin or disposable nearby. Ideally, you want to make like 3-4 of such kits and keep one in your work bag, one in your gym bag, one in your car, and it doesn't need to be bulky. You can literally fit it in a small pouch. It's a very small thing, but it makes a huge difference to your hygiene and therefore to your confidence and keeping you stress-free. Coming to tip number 7, I also had a lot of people ask me this question in the last video. We are going to do a deep dive on how you can make sure that you shave your bikini area right. Now, I for the longest time used to do it wrong, so you end up with like pumpy skin, you end up with itching and a lot of discomfort till the hair grows back to like a certain length. But after doing a lot of research and after spending a lot of time trying to find the perfect way to shave down there, I think I have found it. And the last few times that I've done this, my skin has been absolutely smooth. There has been no itching, and I highly recommend you try it out and let me know if you feel a difference. So here's the step-by-step routine that I follow, and I'm going to link all of the products that I use for this particular routine down below, so again you can access them. You need to first start by trimming your hair. If you are shaving after a long time, or if you are not somebody who shaves regularly but like once a month or once every 2 months, you need to first use an electric trimmer. I'm going to show you the one that I personally use, and then you are going to use it to trim all of your long hair down there. You can also do it with scissors, but scissors are a little bit dangerous and they can cause cuts and nips and all of that, and that's not something you want in a sensitive area. So use an electric trimmer. It's a one-time investment. You can charge it, use it multiple times. And what you want to do when you switch on the trimmer is you want to shave in the direction of your hair growth. If your hair is growing downwards like this is how you trim. This is the direction that you trim in. The reason that we do this is because you don't want your razor to be clogged with hair when you actually start to shave, because if it gets clogged, it becomes blunt faster and it reduces the efficacy of the shave. And you can trim all of your hair, even the ones on your vulva, which is the lips of your vagina. Just go ahead, use the trimmer again inwards in the direction of the hair growth. You don't want to go against the direction of the hair growth because that will tug on hair. It will not only cause pain, but it can lead to like little pimples and bumps later on because you tugged at the hair follicle. That's not what you want. Okay. After you're done trimming, go ahead, take your regular shower. You don't want to shave right away because you want to take your shower first. What this will do is by the time that you're done with your shower, it basically softens the area, softens the hair follicle, makes it a lot easier to shave as opposed to you just going in there with your razor right off the bat and then you have hard hair, hard skin, and it is not the best experience. So take a shower, preferably with like warm water. It softens the hair, it opens up your pores, it makes the shave a lot smoother. Once you are done with the shower, you are then going to take either your face wash or an unscented body wash and just exfoliate your bikini area. I will not tell you to use like scrubs here. Instead, just use like an exfoliating glove or an exfoliating mitten that you can find on Amazon, by the way. Put your face wash or your body wash on this and then gently exfoliate, gently in circular motions. You don't want to go too hard. In circular motions, exfoliate all of the external region of your vagina, including your vulva. Make sure you're not putting face wash or body wash or your exfoliating glove inside your vagina. That's not what you want to do. Very uncomfortable. Once you've exfoliated it, wash it up and make sure you don't overdo the exfoliation part because it can make the skin very, very sensitive. The only thing that you're doing here is softening the skin and just loosening up any dead skin that you might have on that area from a previous shave. All right. Once you're done, rinse it off, and then you need to use the right product, which is a shaving foam and the right razor to make sure you get the smoothest shave of your life. This one from Gillette, which is the Gillette Satin Finish shaving foam, is absolutely amazing for the bikini area. Take a generous amount, apply it all over, and then you're also going to use a razor that is specifically meant for shaving the bikini area, because you'll notice a difference between this one and a body razor. This has fewer number of blades, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want a multi-blade razor, because that will essentially cause too much like scuffing of the skin, too much exfoliation on the skin, and it will cause razor burns, and you don't want razor burns down there, okay? So use a razor that's specifically meant for the bikini area. Again, the Venus Gillette One bikini razor is absolutely great. It's also available on Blinkit, Amazon, all of those places. Makes it very, very easy to shave. So once you've applied all of your shaving foam, you're going to take your razor, and once again, you're going to shave in the direction of your hair growth. You don't want to shave against. One, this will cause razor bumps, and two, because your hair down here is thicker, when you shave against the grain, it can also cause nicks and cuts, because it's almost like a velcro, the hair in this region. So your razor can often get stuck on it and cause like your skin to cut. That's not what you want. If you want a closer, smoother shave, what you end up doing is with one hand, you like spread the skin part that you're shaving, and then with the other, you shave that part slowly. Don't go over it more than 2 to 3 times. You don't want to burn your skin by shaving it. That's not something that you want, all right? And you can, of course, go ahead and do the same thing with your vulva, which is the lips of your vagina. You hold it tight like this, and then you again shave in the direction of the hair growth. Once you're done with that, you rinse away all of your shaving foam and you pat dry. You don't rub, you pat dry all of the area. After that, you're going to make sure that you moisturize the area with an unscented soothing moisturizer. You can use something that you use on your face if it is unscented, because that works equally well. Or you can use aloe vera gel. Personally, for me, aloe vera gel doesn't work very well, but if it does for you, you can go ahead and use that. And for the next couple of days, make sure you moisturize every single time after you shower. Just make sure to not put moisturizer inside of you, because, well, that's not advisable. 2 bonus tips that I have for you is, one, to keep your body razor and your bikini razor absolutely separate, and replace your bikini razor after every 2 to 3 shaves, because old blades are one of the biggest causes for razor burns and bumps. That's not something that you want. This brings me to tip number 8, skip boric acid unless it's prescribed by a doctor. Now, boric acid has become this sort of a trendy online word when it comes to intimate care. There's a lot of supplements and creams, etc. with boric acid going about, but you need to understand that boric acid, or any acid in general, is not a casual hygiene hack. It is a medical treatment that should only ever be used if it's prescribed by a gynecologist or your dermat for recurrent infections. If it is misused, it can actually worsen your vaginal health and cause more problems than it solves. So please do not experiment with it on your own. If you're struggling with repeated infections, consult your doctor. They will guide you with the right treatment. This brings me to tip number 9. Use your face wash for acne. Now, this has personally been a game changer for my acne. And not just face wash, I use the same routine that I use on my face on my back. So if you're somebody who constantly struggles with breakout on your back, on your shoulders, on your chest, the culprit might not just be your skin. Well, of course, you have oily skin and that's one of the reasons, but it also lies in the way that you use your hair products, conditioners, leave-in treatments, especially if you have your hair open, falling on your back. All of these can leave residue and clog your pores if you don't cleanse yourself well after your shower, especially, and that can lead to like exacerbating the issue of body acne. I have personally struggled with it for the longest time, and a lot of it was hormonal. But ever since I started doing the same skincare I do for my face on my back, it has completely changed the game for me. So I use the same face wash. I then go ahead and use either a glycolic acid or a salicylic acid treatment every single day. I can use a spray like the serum. I've used both the Glow Tonic from Pixi and the BHA Powerhouse Pore Cleanser from CosRx on my back. They both absolutely work, and then I go ahead and use my face moisturizer on my back as well. Just a bonus tip, make sure you double cleanse your chest and your back area after you're done washing your hair and using conditioner, because conditioner tends to stick to skin and stay on it even after you've washed it once, but double cleansing will solve that problem. This brings me to tip number 10, apply SPF on your hands daily. Ideally, you want to apply SPF all over your body, especially if you tend to use actives, and I have a whole separate point on using actives at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. But SPF on your hands is very, very important because while most women will remember sunscreen on their face, they might forget their hands. Your hands are the first places in your body to show aging because the skin here is actually thinner. And it's not just about aging, it's also about preventing like skin cancer, which for a lot of people tends to show up on their hands. And a lot of the times your face is not getting direct sun exposure, but your hands might be when you're driving, when you're outdoors, and that causes tanning, dark spots, wrinkles. If you want to avoid that, a simple hack is to make sure that once you're applying sunscreen on your face, you use the residue and put it on your hands. Very, very easy. Tip number 11, sanitize your bra straps and your sports bras. This is another game changer for body acne and you're probably ignoring this. Your bras, especially your sport bras, collect way more sweat and bacteria than you realize, right? The straps and bands sit directly on your skin. They trap sweat, oil, sometimes even makeup or lotion. And ideally, you want to wash them right after you're done with that particular workout and wash them every day. Ideally, like if you wear a bra every day, make sure you wash it every day. But I know that a lot of times this is not possible and you might not be able to like put them in the washing machine every single day, but the buildup can slowly lead to acne, rashes, even fungal infections. So if you want to avoid that, here is what you want to do. So now for your sports bras and your bras, if you can't wash them after every workout or every wear, you can actually just wipe the straps and the band area with a mild sanitizer or like a cleansing wipe to cut the bacterial load till you are able to go ahead and wash it. And that massively makes a difference in how it reacts with your skin. This brings me to tip number 12, and that is to rotate your cleansers. So if you've been using the same body wash, same shampoo, same face wash for a really long time, it might be time to switch things up. Now, this advice is not like a blanket advice. If something has treated a problem for you and it continues to prevent that problem for you, go ahead and use it. But if you're somebody who does not have a lot of major skin concerns, but you've been using the same product for a really long time, it is a good idea to switch things up every like 6 months or so. It does not have to be a massive difference, but like a slight variation in the kind of product. Maybe it's the brand, maybe it's the formulation. The reason for this is that your skin, your scalp, etc., all of it gets used to the same formula if you keep repeating it, and this can lead to extra buildup and reduced effectiveness of that product, right? It's like taking supplements. If you've been doing this for a long while, the impact it has on you is not the same as when you started taking it. So your body gets too comfortable with the same routine. That is why every few months, just try rotating your cleanser. You do not have to switch to a completely different one. Have like 3 or 4 cleansers in your kitty that you keep rotating between every few months, and that is it. This basically gives like your skin, your scalp a little bit of a shock and helps it recalibrate and like start afresh. Tip number 13, do an armpit detox if you have bad body odor. The problem is that over time, deodorant residue, dead skin and tight fabrics can trap a lot of bacteria in your underarms more than you realize, making odor very hard to control. So doing an armpit detox regularly really helps. Here's how to do it right. Number 1, deep cleanse. Once a week, you want to wash with like a mild antibacterial soap or a few drops of diluted tea tree oil, and this cuts down odor-causing bacteria. Actually, I would go ahead and recommend you double cleanse your armpits every single day when you shower. Once you're done with that, once a week, you want to apply a clay mask to help like reset the bacterial load in your underarms. A thin layer of like bentonite clay plus apple cider vinegar for about 10 to 15 minutes pulls out any sort of product buildup, especially if you're somebody who uses like roll-on deodorant, and it also helps rebalance your skin's pH so that bacteria can't thrive. The third thing you want to do is switch out your fabrics. So opt for cotton, bamboo for everyday wear, and keep your like synthetic fabrics, silk, satin, all of that for occasions where you know you're not going to sweat a lot. And number 4, make sure you moisturize your underarms. This is, I think, the most overlooked step. I don't know of anybody who moisturizes their armpits. If you shave, if you exfoliate, it can cause dry and irritated skin, which attracts more bacteria, causes darkening, and also causes body odor. That is not something that you want. Ideally, you just want to use like a lightweight, fragrance-free moisturizer or aloe vera gel to repair the barrier. It's the same thing that you do for your face, right? You repair your skin barrier. That not only prevents bumps, but it also keeps your skin's microbiome balanced, indirectly reducing body odor. This brings me to tip number 14, rotate your deodorants. Just like your cleansers, your body can actually get used to the deodorants, and the bacteria in your underarms are very good at adapting, right? So if you keep using the same product over and over and over again, your bacteria basically gets used to that product and it becomes less effective. So like you rotate your cleansers, you also want to rotate your deodorants. I keep coming back to my L'Occitane roll-on deodorant, again and again and again, because I think it's the most effective. But every few months, I'll see like a new brand of deodorant, I'll try it out, I'll use it for a month, about 2 months, till it lasts me, and then I'll come back to this. So that rotation basically helps me keep that deodorant very, very effective. Okay, now if you're thinking that Adete, you always keep mentioning underarms and the upper part of the body, what about other folds on the body that go unnoticed? That, my friend, is tip number 15, which is taking care of your under boob and thigh folds and any other folds you have on your body. Now, if you have a fuller chest, if you have fuller thighs, you know the struggle of sweating and rashes and chafing and that sticky discomfort that nobody else talks about. Here are the hacks that most women don't know but need to. For under boob sweat, you can use moisture wicking liners in your bra. You can actually buy like cotton boob liners or even use thin panty liners inside your bra to absorb the sweat. It is a game changer on hot days. And the second thing you want to do is use antifungal creams preventatively. So if you're somebody who's prone to rashes because of a bacteria called Candida, which thrives in warm folds, using a thin layer of over-the-counter antifungal cream once in a while basically keeps those flare-ups away. Of course, you also want to choose the right bra fabric to avoid this, which means you want to avoid like polyester padded bras when it's hot, when you tend to get like a lot of boob sweat. Switch to like breathable cotton bamboo fabric bras. They cut the sweat massively and they keep the area dry and also very, very comfortable. Now, coming to thigh chafing, invest in an anti-chafe balm or stick. Products like Body Glide or even plain Vaseline work wonders for this. And like right now I'm about to travel, I will carry this anti-chafing stick with me. I will apply it on the inner corners of my thighs because I'm going to be wearing a lot of dresses. It just prevents chafing so much. And if you don't want to use this and you still want to prevent chafing, especially like under clothes like dresses, skirts, etc., just wear cycling shorts. They do the same job as anti-chafing sticks. I just find that I find the chafing sticks a lot more comfortable as opposed to bike shorts because sometimes they'll feel uncomfortable and I don't like to wear them without an underwear. The second thing you want is pH balanced wipes. So if you walked a lot, sweat builds up, there might be sweat in your butt, in your vaginal area, all of that. I've already spoken about pH balanced intimate wipes, but make sure you carry them wherever you're going and you can just swipe out your thighs, you can clean them, apply the anti-chafing balm again, and this prevents any sort of rashes later on. And make sure at night and after showering you moisturize the folds of your body as well because they tend to get a lot more friction, and that is why there's like higher melanin production over there, and they also tend to get drier but you don't apply moisturizer, so it just keeps the skin in that area not being able to heal. So make sure you moisturize every day. This brings me to tip number 16, which is to invest in a hypochlorous acid spray. This product is a game changer. If you're somebody who struggles with body acne, rashes, just feeling sticky after workouts, or in general, this is something that hardly anybody knows. A hypochlorous acid spray sounds intense, but it's actually super gentle. So hypochlorous acid, basically what your own white blood cells naturally produce to fight bacteria. In skincare, it is used as a very safe antimicrobial spray. For me personally, it is a gym essential. It kills acne-causing bacteria after sweaty workouts. It calms redness and irritation, which is great for sensitive skin. It prevents rashes in sweat-prone areas like back, chest, under boob, and it is safe enough to use even on the face, bikini line, and underarms. It is really a game changer for when you're traveling and for after workouts if you can't just go and directly take a shower. You basically want to like spritz it on sweat-prone areas like your face, chest, back, underarms for a quick refresh until you get home. Even after showering, it works well as an antibacterial. And it's a very, very effective, useful product that's not very expensive. It's fragrance-free, non-drying, and dermatologists love it for acne-prone or sensitive skin. Coming to tip number 17, the right way to use actives and exfoliants. Now, when it comes to skincare, nothing creates more confusion than actives and exfoliants. And I don't blame you because between AHA, BHA, retinol, niacinamide, even vitamin C, it feels like a chemistry class sometimes. But I'm going to break it down very, very simply for you guys today so that you get clear on this once and for all. What are actives? Actives are basically targeted ingredients that work beneath the surface of your skin to solve a specific concern. Like acne, pigmentation, dullness, premature aging, whatever that concern might be, actives work under the dermal layer, like the top dermal layer, to work on it from inside out. Exfoliants, on the other hand, basically help remove the top layer of dead skin cells so that your skin underneath looks fresh, smooth, and can also absorb those actives better. Now, here is how to think about exfoliants and actives if the names confuse you. AHAs, or alpha hydroxy acids, these are like glycolic lactic acids, are great for brightening, for pigmentation, and improving texture. They're an active. BHAs, or beta hydroxy acids, like salicylic acid, are best for if you have acne prone or oily skin, because these penetrate deep into your pores and cleanse the sebum and dirt from the inside out. This is a chemical exfoliant. Then you have your retinols and retinols. These are your anti-aging besties, because retinol is a vitamin A derivative that boosts cell turnover and must be introduced into your skincare very, very slowly, because otherwise it can cause your skin to purge a lot and not tolerate things very, very well. Then you have the most commonly used active, which is vitamin C. It basically helps brighten your skin, fight free radical damage, and also like prevent sun damage to some extent. But you want to avoid mixing it with strong acids, since it is very potent, very concentrated, and when mixed with certain other active ingredients, it can combine to form other ingredients that are not so conducive to be put on your skin. Okay? And then finally, you have the safest of all actives, and that is niacinamide, which helps soothe irritation, reduces redness, strengthens the skin barrier, helps control oil production, all of that. Now, before you rush to buy all of these, you need to understand a key part. You do not need all actives. Overloading your skin with actives and with exfoliants actually damages your skin barrier. So here are a few ground rules that you should follow if you are getting into actives and exfoliants. Number one, start with one thing at a time. Don't buy 4 serums, start with all of them together. That's not what you want to do. Pick your top concern. So your concern might be acne or dark spots or aging, or it might just be like redness around the skin or hyperpigmentation. Whatever that concern is, pick one and introduce only one active that targets that specific concern. Second thing you want to do is follow the 2-2-2 rule. Anytime you introduce a new active into your skincare routine, you want to use it 2 times per week for 2 weeks before increasing the frequency. This basically lets your skin adjust without going crazy, purging too much, or damaging your skin barrier. Number 3, don't mix strong actives. This should be common knowledge, but it is not. So you don't want to mix your retinol with your AHAs and BHAs in the same routine, because that overdrives your skin. It compromises your skin barrier and makes either product very less effective. Do not use vitamin C and AHAs together. Stick to one strong product at a time. Your skin will thank you. And number 4, regardless of whether you are using actives, exfoliants, anything else, moisturizer is non-negotiable, because actives make your skin more sensitive. You need a good moisturizer with ceramides to actually rebuild your skin barrier after you've used exfoliants and actives. And number 5, SPF is mandatory, especially if you use actives in your nighttime, in your skincare routine. If you use retinols, AHAs, or even vitamin C without sunscreen, you are going to undo all of your progress and risk worse damage for your skin. And finally, know when to stop. If you start applying something, you get redness, you get burning or constant peeling, your skin barrier is damaged. You need to take a break, go back to your basics, which is cleanser, moisturizer, SPF. And if you ever want to reintroduce, you want to reintroduce slowly. Now, one cautionary thing that you need to keep in mind: if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, you need to avoid retinol and other high-strength acids at all costs. In fact, consult a dermatologist, consult a dermat, see what they recommend for your skin and use that. Just remember that less is often more when it comes to actives and exfoliants. And if you're a beginner, think of actives as a main character in your routine. You don't need them all. You just need 1 or 2 that match your skin's biggest concern, and then you need to give them time to work. Skincare is not a sprint, it is a marathon. Now, apart from all of the hygiene hacks that we've already discussed, I also received a ton of questions in the comments in the last 2 videos. So here I am answering some of the common questions to address your doubts directly. Question number 1, how to remove tanning. Tanning is basically your skin producing more melanin, which is the pigment that gives your skin color. And when you're exposed to the sun, your skin cells produce more melanin to protect the skin from sun damage. You cannot erase it overnight, you can only fade it safely. So even after you're tanned, you want to continue using sunscreen no matter what you do, because sunscreen ke bina the tan will come back. So let's say you've come back from a vacation, you are tanned. You first want to check if there is any sunburn or sun damage. If there is not, you can get into gentle exfoliation. So you can use something with AHAs like glycolic acid or lactic acid, a body wash or something of that sort once or twice a week, or you can use something with salicylic acid once or twice a week to remove dead skin cells. And after that, you want to use a moisturizer on your body and on your face with brightening actives. So serums with vitamin C. Serums with niacinamide work well, and they both help fade pigmentation gradually. Question number 2 was how to lighten dark knees and underarms. Now, dark knees and underarms again are a super common concern, and one of the reasons that they can happen is because you are more prone to hyperpigmentation. So a few ways that you can actually tackle this. If it is not a medical condition and it is not something that is genetic, here is how to tackle it. 1, exfoliate weekly to basically reduce like product buildup in those areas and to ensure that your dead skin cells are not like trapping and causing friction. You want to use mild chemical exfoliants like glycolic or lactic acid pads. Always keep the area moisturized and avoid friction with tight clothing. And of course, you can use the same things that you use on your face skin to lighten, darker areas on your body, which is like glycolic acid, lactic acid, melasyl. These are basically ingredients that just reduce the melanin production in the region and cause it to become lighter. So you can try it out, but remember, it should not be like a genetic thing and it should not be a medical thing. Only then try it out, otherwise consult your dermat. Question number 3 was how do I deal with frizzy hair? Oh my god, I've been looking for a solution for frizzy hair for so long. But here is what I found out, that frizzy hair can happen because of a lot of reasons. It's not one single problem, right? It could be because dryness, because your hair lacks moisture and will puff off, especially in humid weather. It could be because your hair is damaged because of heat styling or coloring or chemical treatments. They roughen the cuticle and strands don't lie flat. It could also be that your natural texture is like that. So my natural texture is like straight only, but I have fine hair which tends to, whenever it breaks, it tends to like fly outwards, and that is why I tend to get frizz or my hair tends to look frizzy. For naturally curly or wavy hair, raised cuticles are higher in number, so it's also even more prone to like frizzy even if it's healthy. And then of course there's environment. So right now, because it's humid, it's raining, everybody's hair is frizzy. Once you understand why it is happening, you can then try one of these few hacks to try and fix it if it helps. So if you have dryness, you want to use sulfate-free shampoos and hydrating conditioners that lock in the moisture with a leave-in or a lightweight oil on damp hair. If you have damaged hair, you want to do weekly protein masks and use heat protectant and trim out your split ends regularly. If it's your natural texture, I would recommend not fighting it, work with it. So use your curl creams or your gels or your styling mousses to define your hair so that they look intentional and not frizzy. And if it is humidity, well, wait for the humid season to get over. If that's not possible, try using like an anti-humidity spray or a serum that seals your cuticle so that moisture doesn't get in from the environment and cause it to frizz up. This brings me to question number 4. Any quick hacks for fresh breath? Well, absolutely. 1, this little spray thing, keep it handy. It's a sugar-free mint spray, or you can even keep like Armpit or any sort of chewing gum. Whenever you feel like the smell coming from your mouth, spray a few spritz and it instantly makes you feel refreshed. Secondly, you do not want to skip brushing your tongue and flossing. Most of your bacteria that causes bad breath sits on your tongue. So if you brush your tongue regularly, if you cleanse your tongue regularly, you tend to get less bad breath, honestly. Third is to stay hydrated, because dry mouth is also a huge reason behind bad breath. And of course, flossing, because if food is stuck in your teeth, it is going to smell over time, so you don't want that. And question number 5, what if I'm allergic to fragrance but I struggle with body odor? This is a great question and it's way more common than you think. Even if you're not allergic, there are a lot of people who just cannot tolerate very strong fragrances, and that is why they tend not to use like perfumes and deodorants. Absolutely all right. First of all, you want to look for fragrance-free deodorants. They exist, I promise you. Look for ones that have magnesium hydroxide, baking soda if you're not sensitive to it, or zinc. These are elements that neutralize body odor without having any sort of fragrance or scent in them. The second thing you want to do is take care of your clothes and wash them regularly. Soak them in like vinegar or antibacterial detergent to basically kill odor trapping bacteria, so that once you wear them again, like there's no bacterial cross-contamination that is keeping you in this loop of smelling bad. And finally, you want to keep your diet in check. A lot of the times, the reason for bad body odor has to do with your diet, how good or bad your diet is. And there might be certain ingredients that don't suit you well, and this is your body's way of telling you. So do like an elimination diet. Eliminate one thing and see if it impacts your body odor. If it doesn't, reintroduce it back again and then try it with another thing. You will end up finding a few things that might be contributing to your body odor, and then you can reduce their consumption or like lower it as needed. Again, you can also use like hypochlorous acid spray, the same one that we talked about in the post-gym thing, on your underarms to reduce bacterial load. And it's usually fragrance-free. Now, that wraps up most of the questions you guys asked. If you have stayed back till here, you are the goat. And here is what I want you to take away before we wrap up. Hygiene is not about chasing trends. It's not about buying new trendy products. It's about knowing your body, listening to it, and building small daily habits that actually work for you. With that, I'm gonna let you go. Make sure you check out this video next because YouTube says you're gonna love it. And I'm gonna see you ladies very, very soon in another one. Bye.